working with Angie for a 12-week coaching session, and I think it's just been amazing for us. So we reached out to Angie because we've been married for 15 years and we had lost connection. So there was no absence of love, but the absence of connection had dissipated with the requirements and the demands of life and raising a family and having careers. And so the tool set that we had acquired over the years that it got us to this point were no longer serving us. And so we needed a new skill set. And so I reached out to Angie, and I'm thankful that my husband was open to us taking this 12-week journey together with Angie. And the way in which we worked with her, she worked with us, and how we were able to rediscover and in essence discover parts of ourselves, but rediscover a connection for ourselves has just been so rewarding.
Coaching session really allowed me to do some self-reflection, allowed my wife to do some self-reflection. And some of the challenges that I think we realized up front was that we really had to be patient, right? The expectation that we were going to see the changes right away. Once we realized that being patient was just as important, it really opened up the doors to the change we started to see in our marriage, and it was reflected within our home as well. So we are grateful for the coaching session that we're coming close to finishing up now. We're excited for the changes that have taken place and that will continue to change. We still have work to do, but at the end of the day, we're seeing the change in our marriage, and it's been definitely a welcome addition to our lives, and we're grateful for Angie to provide in this coaching session for us, and happy to share our journey so far. So thank you so much, Angie. We really appreciate you.
Thank you, Angie. You rock, girl.
Before Angie's course, we struggled a lot with conflict resolution. Fights would last hours. Communication wasn't there. We really struggled to see each other eye to eye. My wife and I, we would have really bad tempers. I would try and match her energy. Fights would explode. Something that was minor and small would turn into a huge deal. During Angie's course, her 12-week program, we've been able to get over that successfully. And we're a few months out of the program now, and our life is better than ever. We've grown through a lot of stuff. It wasn't easy, but we've taken our time, and we've learned to appreciate each other for who we are, being able to understand each other and communicate better.
I definitely learned so much from Angie during the program. We did have struggles with conflict, but now, after going through her 12-week course, we are able to solve it. I mean, honestly, arguments don't even happen that often anymore. Also, I wanted to point out that we have thrived sexually. She definitely has helped us in that area of our life. And if you're considering Angie, definitely take the leap.
Our life has been great. It's been smooth. Everything's been fantastic. And we just wanted to say thank you to Angie. We really appreciate you.
Thanks, Angie.
Thanks, Angie.
We recently completed Angie's 12-week intimacy program. Before we joined the program, we were having problems with communication. We were having problems with conflict resolution. And we were also trying to start a family. And I believe those two problems led to us having issues with being empathetic for one another, loving on one another, which just resulted in us having a hard time starting that family. Since then, some of the difficulties that we experienced during the program were changing our old habits, moving past things that happened in the past, and relearning how to have the same empathy for one another we had when we first met and first started dating. I think another difficulty that we had was learning to have grace for one another, and then after getting past the grace moment, developing mercy for each other.
Since completing her program, we were able to build our communication, definitely have grace for one another, and we learned that the intent behind what we're doing is what we should focus on, and it's always with good intent. We also were able to become more intimate with one another, not just sexually, but just also physically, and talking more and just building those connection points. And really, like right after that 12-week program, I ended up being pregnant. And so going through her program really helped us build that connection, and it resulted in building our family. So thanks, Angie. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Angie.
What brought us to Angie was because we were in almost like a crisis mode. We felt like we were communicating, but the other wasn't really hearing what the other had to say.
I feel like we really came close to ending our marriage because of things that happened early on when we were in a relationship before we got married. I think we hadn't quite dealt with it the correct way. I think we were very immature and unforgiving of those issues.
What I was doing was I was not allowing myself to put everything on the table so that we can kind of sort through it and see what we need and what we didn't need. So a lot of it was just keeping a big part of myself to myself. But as what Angie did, it was just incredible, was it never felt like a shove or a push to like open up or say what she wants to say, or for her to kind of extract what she needed from us. She just kind of asked questions, and you know, she knew how to ask the right questions, and that is what kind of allowed us to feel like, okay, the answers to these questions are okay to express. So for me, it was expression, and also understanding, like I said, that this is a whole different person. You know, like he also has things that he dealt with and he's dealing with, and you just have to understand that it's not me and him versus each other. It's, you know, me and him versus whatever. It's kind of clouding our relationship right now. Enjoyed Angie. We 100% would recommend her to anybody, everybody. If I could recommend her to every single one of our friends, I would, and I'm going to, because she is wonderful. I mean, like, her personality, it's just effortless in the way that she is able to get people to just express themselves and kind of help us solve the problem together. It really did feel like a team. It felt like she was part of our team, you know. She was rooting for us, and she was that median. She was great, very smart, very experienced, very empathetic, very understanding. I feel like she could guide anyone, no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, no matter you know, sexual preferences. And don't even get me started on intimacy. She's transformed my life in like the last 3 weeks. And it's wonderful. I couldn't say enough good words to just describe the experience. It was great.
Yeah, I like her. She's just down to earth. And she's a fellow Chicagoan, so I felt comfortable as soon as we all met. And like Joanna said, she's just very experienced, and I trusted her words and her teaching. Yeah, I wasn't on board initially because of the price, but I would have, like, looking back, I would have paid more now because she's just that good. Yeah, no, I'm just being real, but she does a very good job. Like, she's very relatable, respectful, professional, and that just says a lot. So yeah, I would recommend her to anybody.
Thank you, Angie.
Thank you, Ange.